It's 6 minutes before 8 o'clock. We'll be giving you the latest happening in the news at 8 o'clock. But just before that, let us cross over to Port Elizabeth once again to Leanne. She is with the Deputy Minister of Transport, Chikunga, as well as the Minister of Agriculture, Senzeni, Zokwana. It's over to you, Leanne.
Thanks very much, Phakisa. Yes, indeed, as you say, I'm going to be joined by those two guests in a short while. But as you can see on your screen right now, you've got the Sarabutman that is behind us here at the Port Elizabeth Harbour. It's a fantastic vessel. In fact, if you'll remember, a few years back, we actually did a broadcast from the Sarabutman, and that is one of those vessels that protect our shorelines here in South Africa. So lovely to have the Sarabutman here. Well, as you say, joined by our two ministers. Well, we've got our Deputy Minister of Transport with us, Sindisiwe, Chikunga, and of course, I suppose one could call you the man of the moment, the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Mr. Senzeni Zokwana. It's good to have both of you, and welcome to the program. We're talking about oceans economy, so I say you're the man of the moment, but you corrected me very, very quickly to say that this is not just about the oceans economy. There's so much more involved in Operation Phakisa. Talk to us about it.
I mean, as a department, we deal with four parts of the oceans economy, which is the coastal protection, which Sarabutman is part of the vessels that does it. We're involved also in research with some of our vessels. But also we are today showcasing our aquaculture, farms. And one nearby will be the farm where we at Hamburg, where we are farming codfish, which was harvested last year in November, and creates employment for the locals. And aquaculture, we believe that we'll be able to contribute 5 million rands to the GDP very soon, because it is a growing area. We have got fish farms in the Eastern Cape, in KZN, in Western Cape and Northern Cape. Yeah. And the aim is to grow more.
That's fantastic, and that's the idea of aquaculture. I know you've been hearing about that a lot on the program, so I'm glad you spoke a little bit about that. In fact, we'll have an insert later on in the program. Deputy Minister, in terms of transport, and we do know that this is a hive of activity when you talk to the export of cars. All the manufacturers are here. Just talk to us from the transport department as well. Your role in this whole program.
Thank you, Leanne. Remember, we came up with four focus areas. There are 5 now: oil and gas exploration, maritime transport and manufacturing, aquaculture, oceans governance, and now marine tourism. The Department of Transport in the main is focusing on maritime transport and manufacturing. Out of that, we identified 18 initiatives, 8 of which focus on infrastructure development and operations, 6 on skills development and capacity building, and 4 on industry growth. And for instance, under industry growth, that is where we talk about, for instance, the registration of our vessels, which I think we need to do as a country. But of course, under infrastructure development, we said we must have a sort of source of finance so that we know exactly, remember talking about our ports, those that have not been in use for quite some time, and how are we going to maintain and refurbish them. And that is under those 8 initiatives. And skills development, you can't talk oceans economy because it's a very highly specialized area without skills. And that is why we have at least 6 focus areas or initiatives, if you like, or projects, as a matter of fact, that are focusing on skills development. We're looking at what we are going to do as a country to develop skills, but of course what we can do working with international institutions of higher learning to develop skills. For instance, you will know we're sending some of our students to the World Maritime University to study. Initially, they were going there to study anything at master's level, but now we are saying let's focus on education so that those that go there to study, they come back to the country and are able to teach either at university level or even at basic education level. because we will want to introduce, as we are doing now, to introduce maritime at that level, because we can't talk maritime without skills.
Absolutely, and that's the most important thing, is the skills transfer and the job creation. Minister, from the point of view of job creation, I mean, how many jobs does aquaculture actually contribute to our economy, and the vision going forward, how many do you think it can contribute?
Going forward, as I said, that our contribution to the GDP is 500 million rands.
Yes.
And in all this, by the way, we have already approved 10 aquaculture farms that are in operation in the different provinces I've counted.
Yes, of course.
And we believe that as we expand them going forward, jobs will be sustainable. And I'm sure in the process of this interview, you will link up with some of the beneficiaries who have been employed in one of the nearby fish aquaculture in Hamburg. And the aim is to make sure that we don't only create jobs, we guarantee the sustainability of those projects, as well as food, accessibility to people.
Indeed.
Around.
All right. Ministers, we're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately, but thank you so much for giving us a little bit of understanding about that. This was our Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Senzeni Zokwana, and of course our Deputy Minister of Transport, Sindisiwe Chikunga. Thank you very much for being with us. We're going to say a quick goodbye here from the beautiful Port Elizabeth. Thank you, PE, for coming out and showing off today, because it's been a beautiful, beautiful weather day. But we do have more for you in the next hour here on Morning Live. Tune in to Channel 404. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic weekend. Shap shap. Hey, ta-da.